I had a fun morning. So there's a bunny that is in our yard. I'm sure
There's no
there's
such
many
thing
of them.
as bunnies, Sean. They're rabbits.
This is a bunny. It's small.
No, a
Cottontails?
bunny is not
Yeah,
an animal. It's a rabbit.
I want to call it a bunny. Why can't I?
You you can want to call it whatever you want. You can call it Susan if you like, but it's not. It's a rabbit.
I see. I see. Okay. Well, there was a rabbit
Okay.
was living in my yard, and the dogs have been trying to find the rabbit, or they knew
Yes.
where it was, but they were trying to let us know. I don't know what they're doing for the last, I don't know, 2 days,
The
three
hounds
days.
are out.
And then Dale went out this morning and he caught the rabbit.
Ooh, good job,
The rabbit
Dale.
did not make it. So Anakin and him will have something to
Well,
talk about now because they're both murderers.
that's good. Yeah,
Yeah,
Anakin. Yeah,
it was quite
the
uncomfortable.
rabbits don't hang out in our yard as much anymore because of Anakin. We did have a. I was getting on the treadmill yesterday morning and looked out the front window, and there's a fox on the front
Oh,
porch.
wow.
And then he runs around the corner of the house. I see him in the other window to the right of the treadmill, and he goes over to the gate, under the gate, and into the backyard. So I run into the backyard so I can it's like 5:30 in the morning. I run into the backyard to try and chase him out. Couldn't find him.
Oh,
But apparently
weird.
the fox is trying to find my bunnies, rabbits.
Well, could you
Rabbits.
send him to get well, I don't know. I guess my rabbit might be gone. Maybe there's no more, but
Oh, there'll be more. They're everywhere now.
yes,
There's
there's many of
probably more rabbits than people in there.
them. There are a lot of them. I do see a lot of them just right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm. Anyways,
I like the description under your name, Sean.
this is my show. Yes, I'm editing that on the fly, so it changes to something else. It's totally me.
Uh,
Man,
what show is it?
I think it's called the Passport something. I forget.
Oh,
Orange Cars.
I don't know.
I like the on the fly. It's like the like television announcer thing. They'll put it under like the local man
Yeah.
saw flying object or whatever.
Uh,
Big orange car guy.
Oh yeah.
I saw one the other day. There was a local news interviewing a NASCAR driver at a NASCAR race, but they didn't know they were interviewing a driver. So it said this kid's name is Connor, and underneath it said NASCAR fan. And so it's been going around
Well,
the internet, going around
I mean,
NASCAR Twitter,
you could
oh
be
wow,
a
I didn't know you
fan.
were a
You
fan.
could be a fan
and a
and a
driver.
driver. That's
Is it wrong? Is he
you
not a
could be
fan?
both.
That's pretty funny though.
That's really funny.
Did you see the? I'm sure you've seen the Cletus at Talladega and little pre-race interview.
Yeah,
He's funny. His shtick sometimes is a little much, maybe, but it's still funny.
it's pretty funny though.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, we should probably do a podcast. It is the Campfire Passport podcast. So.
It is,
at
yeah.
least.
Okay.
That it is.
So we were talking about in our text message group, news, and I think the most exciting news that's come out recently is the Slate pickup. So I think Mike jumped on this pretty quick because he's been like a big, I need a really simple work truck that's electric, maybe kind of guy. So this thing is the most simple, and it is all electric. So it's pretty interesting. The Autopian did a thing on it that I was pretty interested in because they photoshopped it or illustrated it, I guess maybe would be a better way to say it, with a you'll see, hold on, with the sure. The backpack camper. Pretty sweet. So for those that haven't looked, this is a new auto manufacturer.
Does
This
it
thing
have
is
the
like in
extra
its
butt on it, like that Wrangler
oh yeah, sure
that I
does.
showed you
Sure
guys
does.
before? It's got a
Yep.
little
Have
extra
you ever
butt on
seen
there.
yeah. Have you ever seen one of these like on an Astrovan chassis and it's still got the little extra thing, extra butt?
Mhm.
Extra butt.
An- Anyways, it's this
So
new
it's a
auto
Slate. It's a
manufacturer,
Slate L.
Slate L. Yes.
Yeah.
Slate
it's
long.
this 15 it's the 15 passenger Slate.
Long
Um,
boy.
yeah. So Slate is
It kind of made it just look like the Ford Transit delivery van.
yeah, kinda. It's got some interesting styling cues. Like it kind of looks a little Defender-ish. Um, there's some other stuff going on there, but
Honda
it
Element.
is yep, definitely Element.
Mm.
Definitely.
A little Defender, a
The
little
website,
Bronco Sport.
Yep.
yeah, definitely. Here's the website. There is a configurator, so we could
Ooh, let's build one
configure
now.
one. Yeah.
Live.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to personalize it. I'm going with the blank slate to start because why
Of
wouldn't I?
course. Yeah.
This is going to be great for radio. People
I
are going
thought
to
that was
love
the
me.
only way you could get them was blank.
Yeah.
I thought that was the whole shtick.
You might be right. There are some starter packs. I don't think I'm interested in a starter pack, right? Well, it'd be great if I could see it. Okay. Body style. Here
There
we
we
go. I like the SUV. I don't like the
Oh, they got a
slopey
notchback, huh?
SUV. Yeah, that's dumb. So there we go. Boxy SUV. Got the SUV kit. With outdoors? No, I don't want doors.
Oh,
No, I do.
it's not a
I do
Jeep.
want
You can't do that.
open air. No, I don't want either one of those things. Actually, you're right. Okay. And then color, which is only a wrap
They
because it
can only
comes
do
in one
wraps.
color. Of course, I'm
Yeah.
picking green. Maybe this green is better. No, I don't think
I
so.
don't know about that.
Chrome?
Chrome is probably the best choice, right?
Yeah.
Or orange.
There
I
we
guess
go.
Luke's not building it though, so we can't do
Yeah,
orange.
this is for me, not
Yeah.
for Luke.
Yeah.
No.
I went with sand. It's a sand slate.
Sand. Okay.
Roof rack? Yeah, why
No,
not?
there's roof rack.
Bumper upgrade? Yep. Tire carrier? Sure. Front bumper upgrade? Definitely. Fender flares? No, I'm just gonna rip those off eventually, anyways. Some running boards, bed step. Want none of it. No running boards. It's our wheel and oh wait, hold on. Let's go back 'cause there was the lift kit.
Oh yeah, we need that.
Oh yeah, lift it
Whoa,
up.
look at
There's a
that.
lift kit. Oh, wow.
It has a factory lift kit. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's funny because you can like
Or a lowering
or a
kit?
lowering kit. You can
What's it
kind of
look like
get
lowered?
Hell yeah. I'm going mini truck in this thing. I don't give a shit about it. This isn't an overlander. It should be a mini truck.
Exactly.
hmm. So I was thinking about it. I was like, oh no,
So I
no
guess
one
in
offers.
electric mini trucks, you just drag the battery on the ground.
Yeah,
It's safe,
lots of
don't worry.
sparks that way. Lots of
Yeah.
sparks. None of these are good. These are all stupid. I don't want any of that. Regular slate front.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Wheels and tires is where it gets interesting.
Yeah, two options. Oh, you got a
Excuse
couple.
me.
Okay.
Yeah, this is what I'm doing here. Oh yeah. Big old meats on the black Steely. It's a 17-inch all-terrain tire. It's a little weird, but okay.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm doing that. That's cool. It's a bit much, but I like it. So that's like a wheel decal. Yeah, wheel decal set. The
Interesting.
throwback. Lighting. Front light upgrade. What is it? I still want
It's
it.
those middle lights, yeah.
Ooh, clear taillights? Oh
Ooh,
no, they're
man.
gone. They're like a couple different
Altezas.
like weird, they're different styles, but they're not that different. Oh yeah, I'm
Unless you get
definitely
that,
going clear
yeah.
taillights.
Got to do the Altezas on that.
Oh yeah.
Yep. All right. So interior. Oh my god,
Look at all these options.
there might be too many options. I don't want the interior decals. I do want a center console
Mm.
in black. Okay. This is so boring. I think I want that. Doesn't really tell you what these options are. It's kind of annoying. Tablet mount,
Tablet
sure.
mount.
Steering wheel accents, no. Climate control, no. Oh, it's auxiliary buttons. Yeah, I'll take the auxiliary buttons. What that is? A key fob color. No, that's stupid. Wow, there are so many
Magma.
options. Window crank
Yeah, for something that they
accents.
said was basic, they got a lot of
Well,
options.
the idea here is, as we're doing this, that it comes with nothing.
Yeah.
So you can add whatever you want, or you can get it super, super, super base model. I just got power windows. There we go.
Wow.
And
That's going against what it stands for, though, Sean.
what do you mean? No, that's the beauty of it. You get to add things if you want them. But I
Mm.
could get like power windows, but still a bench seat or something. Like I could get the most. I could only get power
Yeah.
windows if I wanted.
It's like upgrading your car in Need for Speed.
Yeah. There's the audio and tech. I don't know what.
Well,
Now
I
it's really
saw
like
one of the
upgrading your
audio
car in Need for
things is
Speed.
just a clip mount to mount your Bose
Yeah, like a
sound.
speaker.
Your Bluetooth speaker under the
Uh-huh.
dash.
All right, I think that's good. Doesn't really show you much though. Can I just see it? Summary. I can reserve it.
Isn't the reserve like super cheap too?
It's like $50.
Yeah.
Should I just reserve one?
Just reserve one. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Okay, well that was really
Will this be like the Tesla Roadster, where like it's just vaporware for the next 10
almost
years?
definitely.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, now that we've done the absolute most boring thing that we've ever done on the show,
I don't know.
You sure?
Yeah.
I don't know. You guys talk about Volkswagen a lot.
Oh, that's right.
I don't know if that's boring.
Oh.
Well, I
Those
don't
has
know. I
been
think
some
it's
boring times, though.
yeah.
Shots fired.
I think it's a pretty cool little rig. It's interesting. I wasn't like super
I think so,
blown
too.
away by it, but I thought it was pretty cool. The fact that it's going to be super cheap is interesting. All the extra options are kind of cool. I watched a video on it today just to make sure that I knew a little bit about it, and it is some of the options are a little, I don't know, just like goofy, not really consequential to the actual car. So it's a lot of like, you can pick any interior color pieces you want and you can mix and match all of them. And it's like, okay, well, the freedom of that is kind of cool, but it's not really anything super crazy. It has like a couple different battery sizes, and they're talking about aftermarket batteries. And then it also has like a lift and lower thing, which you saw, which is kind of cool. And I was thinking about it. I was like, I don't know if anybody makes a lift kit like from the factory, but they kind of do. Like if you think about like a Tremor or whatever, like it's kind of lifted from the factory, so
ZR2.
it's kind of
Yeah.
yeah, ZR2. Like so,
Yeah.
it's kind of the thing.
The Rubicon Recon is a 2-inch lift from the from the standard
Yeah.
Rubicon.
See.
The 392s all come with a 2-inch lift over the normal Rubicon. So
Yeah. So it's not completely crazy, but it is interesting. Similar news. I saw an article. I decided to scroll through Expedition Portal because I know Colin always does that one, and I thought, oh, let me check and see what they've got going on. Of course, they've got oh my god, pop-ups. The 2025 Tasman X Pro is ready for launch in Australia. So this
Oh
is
boy.
becoming our. I want this to be our Dacia Sandero. Really, that's what I. Look at that ugly thing.
I like that.
It's awesome.
So at
that.
some
It
point,
is.
someone just needs to say, "There's a new Kia Tasman coming out."
Exactly. Excellent news, everyone. The Kia Tasman X
Huh.
Pro.
Anyway.
It's got the X-Trek mode. I mean, it's a notable
X-Trek
addition.
mode.
Hmm.
I think I
Is
would
it?
have this over the Slate, so there's that.
Did we decide if this had a low range in it?
I don't know if we ever talked about it, but I'm like fairly certain it does because it has like yeah, it's got a pretty big towing capacity and everything too. I don't know. Uh,
8-speed auto,
let's see.
4-cylinder diesel.
It's got a crawl control system, locking rear diff.
Hmm.
It it must, right?
I I don't know. I mean, it's not electric, so I kind of lean towards I would think it would, because it seems to be
Mm,
the only ones that don't have the low range so far of the like mid-sized truck market is the Chinese,
yeah.
the Shark that
So
According to Google AI, it
yeah, I
does,
was just
but I
looking at
don't
the
know if
same
that's.
thing, Luke. Let's
well, the
check its
internet's not
sources though.
never wrong, so it's just gonna spout it off and move on as if
I'll
it's
tell you what,
fact.
I have seen it. Okay, yeah. So two-wheel drive
My
and four-wheel
sources say
drive. Oh, CarBuzz says that they expect it to feature a low-range transfer case, but they do not have it listed separately.
Hmm.
That was back in October, though. So,
So Carbuzz could be wrong.
yeah. The fact that it's got a two or four-wheel drive. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it does have 4x4 Australia claims that it definitely has a four-wheel or a low range and a high range and two-wheel drive and an auto setting,
Okay.
much like that found in the current Ranger
Yeah. I'll
and
be
every other four-wheel drive.
I'll be interested to see when the boys at Four Wheel Drive 27 get a hold of one to do a little test like they seem to do with all the new mid-sized trucks and everything.
Yeah, it's been fun to kind of watch them do some of that
they're
stuff a little more lately.
members of the
Or
press. They get press fleet stuff.
Yep.
So
cool. That was the big thing. The other thing, I guess, that we were talking about, we were all in an article, other than Luke.
Except for
I'm
Luke.
really, I'm really
Well,
sorry, Luke.
other than
and
me,
Dave. Dave wasn't in it either.
Oh, Dave was supposed to be
well,
in it.
Jesse asked if he called me, but I don't have. I don't know. I don't have a way to tell because I don't know what area code Ken's
Yeah.
in. But my voicemail box was full because apparently I had 100 spam calls that went to voicemail that I didn't know about. So if he did call, I don't know.
I think it's because
No clue.
Well, he
they're
didn't
my
call. It
pictures
was an email.
mostly. And I don't think I have
Oh.
any pictures of your rig because I think every time that I was taking pictures or Morgan was taking pictures, you were ahead. So there's I only have that one of
Like I
Mike's
said, I was
like
too
at
busy
Super
winning.
Bowl. Yeah, you were too busy winning. Anyways, yeah, off-road extreme with an X. We are there's a nice little article about will your 4x4 make it through the
Sean,
Rubicon.
extreme always has an X. What do you mean off-road extreme with an X? Do
I
you mean
meant
you meant
starting with an
with?
X
So you mean
Without an
without
E.
an
How
without
about
E?
an E.
that? Without an E.
Sure, yes, without an E. That works.
Uh,
Yeah. I mean, yeah, okay. You're not wrong. I just yeah. Anyways, here it is. Here you go.
there you go.
A little bit of a feature on some of the rigs, and yeah, it was a good little read. Oh, nice.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool how how it was structured was interesting. Because we didn't
Hmm.
have any of that information on the front end. It was just a, hey, could you send us information on your vehicles?
Yeah,
And that was it. There was no real this is how we're going to frame it or anything like that. So it was kind of interesting to see that it was like a, here's a rundown of these vehicles that did make it and what happened to them when
y-
so
yeah. the conversation kind of was like,
It's funny. I was
oh, go ahead, look.
well. I was just, after reading it and like posting about it and stuff last night. I was like thinking about like we were 10, like very much rookies, had really not a lot of, we had like a pretty minuscule idea of what to do and where to do it and like how to really navigate through obstacles and stuff, and not a lot of like spare parts,
Sure.
not a lot of duplicate rigs where you could borrow parts from one to the other and that kind of stuff. And aside from a couple trail welds, I'm actually pretty impressed with what we did.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Like looking back on it, I'm like, yeah, it's actually we did a pretty cool thing,
Yeah, I agree.
and I'm
Yeah.
It
proud
was
of
kinda nice
myself
to send it
about
to,
it.
like, my family that, like, doesn't really understand what that meant at all,
Yeah.
for them to
Yeah.
go like, "Whoa, that's pretty cool." So,
Yeah.
I liked
I
that.
I liked the Oliver's section there where it talks about how his wheel fell off twice.
Yeah, I was gonna say my favorite line is, "Oliver reports that his rig blew an O-ring on the power steering line, the upper ear of the driver's side radius arm snapped, and the driver's side wheel fell off twice."
Twice.
The driver's side front wheel, sorry, fell off twice,
uh,
which is true.
yeah.
I'll the radio message, "I did a ka-chow," will, forever live in my mind, I think.
Yep.
Pretty funny.
Oh man,
Mike's was
really,
flawless.
really funny. Yeah, I think that's really cool. I don't know what made me gravitate towards opening the website yesterday, but I was like pleasantly surprised to be like at the very header of the page. It was like, oh, wait, I know that
That's
truck.
Jesse's truck. That's funny.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, yeah, I was pretty stoked. I knew it was coming, obviously, but it was pretty cool to see it come up finally.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. Why are you not oh, there we go. There's the stop sharing button. Cool. Those are the kind of newsy things that I had. I don't know if either one of you guys came up with anything or have seen anything cool in the last couple weeks. We haven't recorded for a couple weeks.
Um, did you guys talk about Holman and
Oh
his
no,
shit?
yeah. That's
No, that
something that's
happened
interesting,
during
Luke.
our off period.
Our break.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, so Sean Holman was on his way, Sean, Truck Show Podcast, formerly of Motor Trend, OVR Magazine, what else? A bunch of other stuff. The head of the Mojave Heritage Trail Association,
Yeah.
on his way to Moab for Easter Jeep Safari. Had something caused him to go off the road. I don't really know what, but rolled his Jeep a couple times, had his daughter in the front seat. They both ended up hospitalized. I think his daughter's still hospitalized here, going on 2 weeks. But it sounds like they're improving based on the updates I get from the like truck show podcast Facebook thing. Um, so it sounds like Sean's been discharged. They're doing like outpatient rehab, and then daughter's still in doing her rehab stuff. But there is a GoFundMe out there if you want to go find it, if that's your kind of thing. Uh, it's not. Oh, why is my phone doing that? Anyway, sorry, my phone started vibrating. Um, please silence your phones. Yeah, that's kind of all I had
Yeah.
on that. Luckily, with such a serious incident like that, the Jeep did its job as far as saving its occupants surviving a crash like that. So, and I guess some like an off-duty like paramedic was like on the highway and kind of saw it happen and did some like emergency, makeshift like rendering aid kind of thing, and called EMS and all that, and probably helped their situation a little bit there too.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Probably.
But
Yeah, what a
yeah,
gnarly incident.
yeah,
Yeah.
So he's been like sharing updates on his Instagram reels and stuff too.
Yep.
So
Yeah, that's where I was seeing it as well. Like I said in the group text,
yeah,
like I initially saw like the picture of it somewhere. I don't even remember where now, but I just like kind of scrolled past it, not even paying attention because it was just like, oh, here's a wrecked Jeep, whoop de doo, kept scrolling. And then Luke sent that text saying, "Did you guys see that Sean was in an accident?" And I was like, oh, that was the Jeep I
yeah,
was looking at." Like just
yeah.
weird, kind of small world type stuff, like semi known
Mhm.
character in the automotive world.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, especially in the like off-road truck, four-wheeling,
Yeah,
overlanding. He's pretty big in that space, not just as a influencer journalist, but he like is a big advocate for it too. When SEMA goes to like the California State House to try and enact or pass or protect trail systems or legislation or whatever, or DC, he goes and works with SEMA and work towards, preserving or expanding, the overland off road
yeah,
stuff. So pretty important in the space that we all use. So
Absolutely.
yep,
Yeah, definitely a little
yeah,
scary
yeah,
thing.
that's all I had on that. So yeah, really scary thing, but
Well, speaking of going on long trips that could be scary, you going on a sweet long trip this weekend, Colin?
I don't know about long.
I mean, it's
It's
kind of
just it's
long.
just the weekend. um, yeah, we're gonna do the in honor of Sean, uh, customary first trip to the Alvord. Uh, and I had a plan, and then my plan has been thwarted
Oh
by a
no.
text that I just got from Steve minutes before starting to record here. So
Oh
I
no.
I get to change what my route plan is
What
based on that
happened?
information. Well, the original plan was just we're just gonna head to the Alvord straight off and then like work our way back in some form or fashion. And I thought that it might be a good opportunity because uh, I looked at all the snow cameras and there's like no snow anywhere, uh, to do Mike's Dirty Deep Holes, but in reverse,
Okay.
and actually do the side of the road that I wanted to do rather than our jump out. And
Yep.
so I was looking at like I said, the camera up on the Firewatch, and there's no snow. There's nothing up there. There's even way out in the distance towards the Steens. There's like a couple of little patches, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool, perfect. That will be able to run that backwards. It's only 35 miles, I think, is what it is, and then we can get out there and then go over to Diamond Craters and just putt around Diamond Craters, check that out a little bit, and then camp out there.
Yeah.
Uh, and then what happened was I got a text from Steve, and it's a screenshot from Onyx and another local person put a trail report in there, Mr. Eric Dahlin,
Okay.
the Montero guy that works at Technique.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Uh, he was apparently there April 26th, and says that road is obstructed, deep snow. Coming from the south side of the trail is currently impassable due to deep snow drifts and is still needs to melt off. Ground is also quite muddy, and the
Oh, great.
vehicles are getting sucked into ruts very easily. So we're all too familiar with that.
Yep.
Um,
uh
so
huh.
yeah, so I get to now figure out a different path uh, to take for that.
And
So, and we're two not even 2 days away from going. So
That's the best time to do it, right?
just gonna add that to all the other shit I got to get done before. I can actually, leave. So,
What else do you have to do to prep? Where's your rig prep at?
uh, rig prep is fine. Uh, Other than packing, so uh, I did manage to get time to do the rear diff oil. I got my skid plate is for the transfer case is was cut, bent, and I installed it. So there's
Nice.
that. So that's cool. And then I did my engine oil because that was unnecessary as well. Um, so I still have to do the transmission oil and filter. So gotta do that, and then just packing. But other than that, like the vehicle is
Good to
fine.
go. That's good.
Um, but I've got all my freaking school shit that I got to make sure I'm caught up on, and of course there's a ton of shit that's due on Monday,
Got it.
so I have to like hammer that out before I can go. That way, I've got it all fucking done and turned in before the deadline, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
So, more personal things than it is like
Got it.
the rig stuff that I have to get
That ma-
handled. So I'll be
yeah, that
okay, I
makes
think.
sense. Who all is going?
It sounds like we've got Jesse, Steve, Robert,
Oh, cool.
uh, me, Tyson, and Aaron.
Okay, that'll be a good group.
Yeah,
Not bad. Not bad. Has Aaron done any? He have any new things coming up, or is his rig good to go?
I have no idea.
Sometimes he
I
just
haven't heard.
surprises
Yeah, he
us.
kind of sneaks around with that a little bit, like kind of like I
Yeah.
do with my
Yeah.
regular cars. Um, he, I mean, last year he surprised us with the wheels, tires, and bumper.
Yep.
Um, there's no winch in the bumper, but it is a winch bumper. So I'm curious if maybe he threw a winch in there.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I haven't heard if he's gone crazy on it yet or not.
Got it.
So
And then Robert just went through his bigger tire journey and a bumper and a winch, right?
yep,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, he got bullied into that, so that's good.
Jesse's a great friend.
Well, he's Jesse's the one that ends up doing all the work too, so
Yeah.
it's just, he is his own worst enemy there.
Yeah, exactly.
He volunteers himself a lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's, he's very generous with his time.
Yeah. Is Tyson gonna try diesel heater round 3? Is that
That's the vibe I'm getting. He's
'cause he did it on that snow camping trip and it worked,
it worked
without the
flawlessly.
snow. It worked really well. So,
Yeah. Yeah, he's on the same train as I am because he's putting Seamus in his own space. And
okay.
so he got the same little splitter for the ducting
Oh
that
yeah,
I
like
did.
you've got
And it's got butterfly valves on it, so you can like close one down a little bit compared to the other, which I need because one tube is longer than the other. So if they're both wide open, the long tube gets nothing. So I've got to close off the short tube a certain amount so that it creates some back pressure to push some
yeah,
heat up my way. But he's doing the same thing, and so yeah, he should be on the diesel heater train. But the weather, it doesn't look like it's going to get too terribly cold, but
that's good.
of course it's like 60s and 70s all this week on,
Mhm.
and then Saturday it says it's going to rain. And
Of
then
course.
come Monday, it's 60s and 70s for the foreseeable future. So, per the usual, the weather out there says it's going to be shit while you're here. Thanks.
That's basically what happens all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday, Sunday. Ick. Well, fingers crossed for you.
Yeah, we'll see. What's the
Uh,
you alluded to you guys are doing a trip also though. So
yeah,
are
in
we having competing trips here? We're having a
Yes.
trip off?
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yes.
what did you? How did you refer to your trip as? It was in observe. What was your in something?
Oh, as a
In
in memoriam
memoriam.
Yeah.
of
So, in memoriam of your memorial trip,
uh-huh.
we're going to Moab,
Oh, okay.
and I
Yeah.
it is a similar weather situation actually,
Oh, yeah?
where it's
Yeah.
actually raining right now, but I think it's supposed to be really nice on Thursday, Friday, and it's who knows Saturday, Sunday might get a little dicey.
Kind of iffy Saturday, Sunday.
Mm,
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna go. So Eileen and I went to this little like backcountry resort kind of thing in a little town called Gateway, which is south of Grand Junction on the Colorado border,
mhm,
and realized that there's like one of several ways to do back roads over the LaSalle, like the north side of the LaSalle Mountains from Gateway to Moab. So we're gonna go in the back way there, and then I don't know. I have a few like ideas of because I think Sean's been busy with work for the last couple of weeks, so I've kind of spent my free time at work scouting routes and doing all that. But
yeah.
I kind of have an idea of what we want to do and do like some just overlandy stuff, maybe some moderate light like wheeling, but then we'll both have dogs, and then Eileen will be in Florida, but we'll have Sean's wife as well, and so I don't think anybody wants to do any like serious rock crawling, but we'll try and
Well,
squeeze a little
you
bit in.
do, but
Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe
Yeah,
just
I do, and Sean does. But if it were just the two of us and nobody else, then yes, we would
I
we
think
would
it's
be
the
doing
dogs more
probably
than
some
anything,
stuff.
but
Yeah, that's how it is with me for sure. Is Anakin gets freaked out with some of the wheeling stuff. So
we'll do some light stuff. It'll be fun.
okay. Yeah,
yeah,
those
we'll
the LaSalle's down
based
there
on some
is
research, it
pretty
looks
cool.
like
Really?
Yeah,
yeah.
they come up out of nowhere. You just as you're
Mhm.
leaving Moab, basically, if you're starting in Moab, because that's the way I've always gotten into them. You like kind of leave, and then as soon as you get into the road that they're in there, it's like crazy steep. And you just climb and climb and climb, and like
Yeah.
the time I drove, like kind of did like a little loop up through there, it was in the Montero, and I thought I was going to have to put it in low range to go up because
Oh
the
man.
Montero was just like no air because it's getting thin and it
Yeah.
had no power anyway.
Uh,
Plus, it was on 35s, no gears, so it was just like it was dogging to get up that fucking
Oh man.
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, they're
That's
surprisingly tall.
all right.
Yeah.
Cool. Good to know.
Well, they're like the western edge of the Rockies,
Yeah,
so it
and
kind of
it's
makes
just this.
sense.
It's a really
Some of
cool
that stuff in the
contrast.
LaSalle's is the longer trip that goes from Montrose all the way to
Hmm.
like South Moab over the LaSalle's is still mostly closed with snow.
Yeah,
But
I'm not
so we're going to
surprised.
do the shorter one that's lower elevation on the north side, but
Okay.
that gets you to like Onion Creek towards top of the world, that
Yep.
like west northwest
Yeah.
side of Moab up the Colorado River.
We saw a moose out
So
there. I know that
What?
sounds weird that there
nice.
would be moose there, but there was a moose.
Mhm.
That's
It was a
crazy.
baby moose or like
Yeah.
a juvenile teenage moose, but it was the weirdest
Okay.
thing because like we're just driving and like look over like what the fuck is that? Because like it doesn't look like a deer or an elk or anything that you would
Yeah.
like naturally
No.
like in your head be used to seeing. And then we're just like that was a damn moose is what that was.
All right.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I wouldn't expect that. There are
Oh,
bears I would expect,
right.
but
Yeah. Any ideas on what trail since I know some of the stuff
um
there. Any ideas on the trails you're thinking about? So maybe I can give you a don't bother or a yeah, do that one.
well, so Onion Creek for sure as kind of a traverse because it's kind of gonna where we're gonna end up.
Right.
And then maybe top of the world if we decide to.
Okay.
And then I'm thinking about Lockhart Basin
Mm-hmm.
because I think that there's like either end of it. I think the north end by like. So I was thinking maybe like Chicken Corners and Lockhart Basin for like a Saturday Sunday kind of thing, I don't know. I've got a few different things. Kind of, we'll talk about it when we're out there
Yeah.
because I'm not like hard set on anything. But for a longer overland, like a 2 day or like an overnight trip, it looks like Lockhart Basin might be mostly doable, except for like one spot that might be a little iffy for having passengers.
hmm
But that's kind of one that's caught my eye. And then Chicken Corners and what else? Top of the World was one.
So
Just because it's like such an iconic view.
yeah, my here's my 2 cents on chicken corners. It's boring. Um, it's basically
You didn't like it, huh?
no, it's basically
Interesting.
2-wheel drive the whole way. Um, and
Really?
like the sights are fairly good. Um, but
Hmm.
it is totally like there's like one spot that like you could use 4-wheel drive and feel a little better about it, but
Okay.
nothing is challenging. And just for further reference, when I was at this was Stock Disco 2 out there when I did that one.
So, super capable,
Hmm.
by the
So
way.
and not no tires, still had the stock size
Yeah.
tires on it. And
Saying something.
I watched personally saw an old man with his old wife take a Hyundai Tucson out
Nice.
chicken corners. That is how
Nice.
basic that one is.
All
And it
right. Well,
takes
that's good to know.
and it takes a long time because it's an out and back and it's quite a
Yeah.
ways. So
Mm.
Okay.
there are some pretty good camp spots though out there. If you were planning on camping while you're
Okay.
out there, like that one I could see doing like going out to the end of it for the views of it and then coming back and like camping at a camp spot on the way back and then
Yeah.
moving on the next
Because
day.
it intersects with Lockhart Basin. So
Yeah.
it could maybe be like a morning out there, turn around, come back, and then start your Lockhart Basin trip and then camp halfway down that or whatever
Yeah. Yeah.
was
Yeah.
maybe something I thought about. And then the other one, I watched a couple things on 7 Mile Rim,
7 Mile Rim's cool.
which looks like it's pretty cool with some like moderate
Yep.
wheeling, nothing too
Yeah, Stock
crazy that's
Disco
gonna
2
make people
did
think
that
they're
one
gonna
as
flip
well.
trucks. But
So I
okay,
did lift a wheel in one spot, but that was cool. Um, and that's a disco thing anyway. But yeah, there's
mhm,
like so on that one you can go and see the Uranium Arch, which is pretty cool.
mhm,
So and it's like you know how like arches are the thing out there. Uranium Arch doesn't really get
mhm.
visited much, so potentially
Okay,
you can get out there because it's also on a 4x4 trail to get to it. So you could have that whole
okay,
place to yourself, like checking that out. Um,
yeah.
the the twin, what is it like Monitor Rocks or whatever? There's two like big
Yeah, they're named
spires.
after the Civil War ships.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a pretty cool thing because you get to drive right in between them and
that's cool.
like and then like down the side of another one. It's a really that trail like has a ton of stuff, and then like you said, it's like
Hmm.
a moderate bit of wheeling that's like not too crazy. There's a spot that's pretty interesting after the monitors. You like kind of come down this
Okay.
weird little rock thing, but like again, Stock Disco 2 did it, so you guys will be fine. It's just like that's the bit of the interesting part, but for the most part, it's just kind of a cool, relaxed wheeling day.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I watched a video of some Jeeper. I think it's I don't know Trail Recon or something like that. And they're very much Jeepers, right? So
Yeah,
they're maybe not doing as hardcore stuff. And it looked like there was a couple spots that were like some stair steps up a ledge, and then a couple like those like off camber big slabs that reminded me of the Rubicon.
yeah,
That aren't hard; they're just interesting to drive down
yep,
because you're like at weird angles.
yeah.
But
That's a very accurate way to describe it.
All right.
yeah,
Yeah, there's even a mini crack.
um,
So you know
Ooh,
the all too famous crack. That's the I think it's
crack
oh,
in the ground
yeah crack. It's called it's on
in Christmas Valley.
no it's called it's I can't remember.
you're talking
I
about
know
like the
it's
Hell's Revenge thing?
I don't remember. I don't think it's on Hell's Revenge.
Oh,
There's
oh,
like a
oh,
real famous crack that's out there. It might be
yeah.
on Golden
Uh-huh.
Spire or something like that.
Mm.
But um, we've all seen videos of people doing, and it's a pretty sizable crack. But there's on 7 Mile, there's like a mini version of that.
Okay.
All right.
So it was
Cool.
somewhat
Awesome.
challenging in the stock disco, but it was just kind of a funny little like, oh, it's like a little mini one, fun, cute.
All right. Cool.
Some of those
Yeah.
are so funny because it's like it's not necessarily that one you're talking about. The like the one that is so famous, that has tire tracks going up it.
Yeah.
It's not like those kind of things are necessarily hard, but they're visually intimidating.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Otherwise,
mean,
it's just driving up a rock,
yeah.
but it looks
That's
like it's scary as
that's
fuck.
a lot of what Moab is like, and I think we've talked
Yeah.
about this before. Is like it's such a like we know there's tons of grip for the most part in almost everywhere.
Mhm.
It's because that's just the nature of those rocks. But it's the open, like if something goes wrong, where does my car and I go?
Yeah.
Other than
Mhm.
into who knows where. Like it could get out of hand compared to
Yeah.
like where we're at or whatever, where it's like, oh, it's gonna hit this tree and that'll be the end of it.
Yeah.
It's not gonna
Yeah.
roll for who knows how long out of control until it hits a car at the bottom of the freaking escalator or whatever.
Yeah, like Klein, yeah. There's places you can roll a truck at Klein, but for the most part, you're just going to lean it over onto a tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Completely different, I guess.
Hmm.
Well, yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, it's a cool place, man.
Yeah.
I spent some time trying to figure out why my speedo isn't working the other day. That sucked. Didn't fix it. Hate that. And yeah, a couple little just like bolt check things on my rig because I never got around to doing my transfer case gears. So that is it's pretty much just as is. I got a new tent that I am not sure. I don't know if it's gonna be here. It was supposed to be here on Tuesday, which was yesterday. So
Well, I mean, while you're
that's
waiting, you might as
problematic.
well do the transfer case
That was
gears
going to be my question.
Yeah.
because everybody knows that the week before a trip you got to do a transfer case.
Yeah.
You gotta.
I
So
believe me, I thought about it. I was under there. There's like a
We,
slight
we've
leak
we've
at my
talked about
adapter.
splitting a press and
Yeah.
just like knocking it out in the driveway one night.
Yeah. I'm certain that I'm going to pop that thing open and find something I don't want to find. So I really shouldn't do that.
That's
Uh,
that's why
so
you need that spare case.
that's right. Yeah. Oh, I had
Um,
one ready to go, and this guy dropped off the face of the earth. Good old Facebook Marketplace.
man,
Hmm.
that sucks.
It's annoying.
Yeah,
Uh,
I what did I do? I added some more lighting in the canopy. I put a solar vent fan in the top of the tent,
nice.
okay.
just to circulate a little air. Pretty excited about that one. It's like $20 on Amazon,
Nice.
and had like decent reviews with some of the GFC people on like Facebook or their own GFC forum. And then got a fuel filter skid plate. That's pretty important.
Turns
Turns
out.
out.
Turns out. And I don't know if I'm gonna make my heater work because I think I gotta tear it apart and replace or clean it, or I don't know. Maybe I get shit in a fuel line. I don't know. But I did add I found on Etsy a guy in Switzerland makes these magnetic, like CNC machined aluminum port-holes
Hmm.
that have a like magnetic cover and then a magnetic adapter to the like hose for your heater. I
Got
put
it.
that in the side of the tent, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
But I don't know that I'll get to use it this weekend. But I don't know that I'll need to either.
Yeah. I was just looking at the weather again just in case, but I don't think I want to deal with it. I hate putting my heater on the car. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Well, when we start going into the real mountains, I think we will probably.
Yeah, like I said,
Great.
elevation in the LaSalle's is pretty good.
Yeah.
So
Well, and like, I mean, I've been to like Crested Butte in July, and like it gets below freezing at night,
Oh my God.
like because you're at 9,000 feet. So
Can't wait.
yeah,
can't
Can't wait.
it's not snowy; it's just cold.
Okay, well, that's something. Cool. Well, yeah, that's the
So,
trip report.
Okay.
yeah, that's our goals anyway. So,
Thanks for planning that, Luke. Really stepped into your
well,
spot calling it was
I
nice. He did tell me that he was sorry that he didn't keep all the information from me, though.
Yeah. See, that's what you got to do.
yeah,
I'm
That's
telling
right.
you.
That's
I
right.
told him there was one thing I forgot, and that was to keep it a secret. So.
I'm going to show up and he's going to be like, actually, I changed the
Yep.
entire
Everything. Yeah. Everything he's
everything I
told
told
Actually,
you
you
we're
was
is a
a
going to
lie.
lie.
Kansas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hope you like Kansas.
I don't know about that. All right. Well,
You
you
won't.
got
It's
a,
not
would
great.
you pay money for this?
I do.
Was that, was that a sound
It
effect?
was. I didn't.
All
It
right.
wouldn't let me preview it, so that's what we got.
All right.
I can't
uh,
hear it.
Good enough.
where do you want me to start?
Cheapest.
Cheapest. Okay, let's see. Now I gotta see what my prices were because I don't remember. Okay, it's not that. Okay, we're gonna start right here then. So let's go back. It's kind of disorienting when it puts the when I look at it and it goes to the little side screen. There we go. So, all right. So what we have here is not a 1990 Suzuki Samurai. Okay, not
Okay.
because it's a
Oh, it's a
Daihatsu
Daihatsu
Rocky,
Rocky.
and
All
it's got
right.
the
Oh man,
age-old
What?
styrofoam
we don't
cup
have a filter for that.
graphics
Yeah.
on there, which is great. I love it, and it looks to be in pretty decent shape. Has a little winch bucket in the factory front bumper. I mean, not terrible.
No. I feel like a lot of these have winches. I feel like I've seen many of them set up just like this, or I've just seen this one 100 times.
Well, it's because you can use the UTV winch because they're so tiny and light.
It's true.
So they're cheap.
New head
Uh,
gasket.
yeah, 90 tires have less than 300 miles. New starter, new water pump. Comes with an extra engine and transmission. And just about every part you'd need to make another car.
I'd love to see what that list of parts
Well,
looks
yeah,
like to this
how
guy.
far that means. Runs and drives. Problem with it running rich, and he capitalized it like it's a name, and then didn't capitalize I after that. And I don't have time to dive into it. It is a very cool car. Gets lots of looks. I
Does it?
personally have only ever seen one other
As a tow
Rocky
bar.
driving. Open to trades or make offer. $4,000.
Yeah, I mean, they're interesting, but I don't think I need to own one. So I'm going to say no. Oh, I was waiting for the
How
noise.
easy? Like,
I don't know if I've got one for you.
ah.
Same one again. Just use the same one. It's
Yeah,
perfect.
sure.
How easily can you just like samurai these into rock crawlers?
Probably just as easy
I
as a
mean, yeah, it's
samurai.
gonna be just as easy, I would think. Yeah,
Yeah.
I,
About
But you can
I'm
hundred
make
a
a
hours of
samurai for
yes.
fab work.
cheaper.
I'm a yes.
Yeah.
I would pay money for that.
I was on the fence, but I think I'm in bad. I don't like the look. They just don't look very
I guess that's an
good.
appropriate-ish sound.
You know, I'm working with what I've got here.
I
Okay.
can't
A
hear your
mobile
sound.
studio.
I
You can't
can't
hear
hear
it at
your sound
all?
effects.
Really?
No,
Okay.
Weird.
Well,
Why would I be
no
able to
sound
why
hear
can
it?
effects.
Sean hear it and you can't?
I don't know.
Huh.
Maybe because this computer sucks too.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's see. All right. So next up, we have It was this guy. Yes. This is gonna throw you guys through a loop here, I think.
What in the heck is this?
All right, so what we have here is, if it'll let me scroll, is an 85 extra cab Toyota 5500. One of a kind rock crawler with a Z axis control system for unparalleled articulation. Frame is cut behind the cab with a vertically mounted crane slewing, quote unquote, bearing for front and rear to rotate on, but controlled by hydraulic ram.
Okay.
Hydraulic rotation on Z axis, which that's not actually the Z axis if we're talking machining reasons, but 'cause Z is up and
Say,
down, not forward and back. But anyway, uh, also a dump bed built in for trail
Oh,
maintenance, second transfer case for
convenient.
very low speed crawling, toolbox winch front, rear, and wheel lighting on board air compressed. These, I don't know why these are slashes. This is weird. This layout is about as good as his truck layout. And tank, 35-inch tires, 22R, locked rear, separated electrical system to isolate hydraulics, stereo and CB green stickered, exo cage, front and rear stingers, and matching half doors non-op.
Yeah, not
No
streetable.
back reg due. One of the most unique 4x4s
Oh
in
my god.
existence. Worth the trip to see it. So if you want to make the
Oh,
trip,
it's a
we
vacation.
can go down and see Pat in Granite Bay, California, to check out this truck that can spin the bup cab away from the bed. So
Oh,
there's
and
this,
dump things.
and dump bed. So yeah,
Uh, so you gotta adjust the quote Z axis by a hydraulic ram, so it doesn't really articulate as much as the truck moves
yeah, the frame
under
can
it's
power.
spin on itself.
Huh.
it's
Does
articulated, but it's really on the X.
The frame
Yeah.
is
Anyway,
articulating, not the
um,
suspension.
there is no chance in hell.
no, you couldn't pay me to take that.
No. That's a hell of a burden.
Oh, oh.
I'm
I
with
don't
you
even want the
guys.
parts off of it.
Yeah. Um, when people have bad ideas, and somehow also the capability of making those bad ideas come to life,
Yeah.
this is what you get. This is the kind of thing that you get right
This
here.
is the
This guy has
manifestation of
owned a
bad
mini truck in
ideas.
his life and been like, you know what I need to
Oh
do
yeah.
is like
Is
do
yeah,
push rod suspension with a Watts link and a this and a that. And like, you go, man, everybody else is just running a parallel four link and it works pretty well. And he says, no, no, no. I'm
no,
going
no,
to fix this is going to have 1.5 inches more articulation and it's going to ride 10% smoother. So I have to do it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That thing is an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
It's ugly. How much money did he want for this atrocity?
5,500.
What a deal. Really. The dual cases and the front slash rear slash lighting, wheel lighting.
Wheel lighting, yeah. But man, but I,
Yeah,
I,
ugly.
he's not wrong. That is like the first time I've seen something like that.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
that's
I
not a
don't.
good thing either.
Yeah, I was gonna say one of the
So
most unique 4x4s in existence on this was not a brag. That is,
no,
No,
it's unique
sure
for
wasn't.
sure.
yeah, yeah.
Different doesn't always mean better. Everyone.
Yeah.
That's that's correct. Okay, so I'm checking on prices here. It's this one. Okay, so this I thought was totally weird and random to come across this. What we've got
Oh, a
here
Sprint Turbo.
is a Sprint Turbo.
These are cool.
$8,000. It's got a
And
Texas title. It's up in Seattle,
oh my god.
but it's an American hot hatch.
This thing needs to be on Bring a Trailer. I don't know what it's doing on Facebook Marketplace.
It's got the red inlay on the seats.
What are these? These have to be like shared with something else, right? Were they something else?
I have no idea.
Let's keep
They've got
looking
an
at them.
intercooler too. Look at that. Runs and drives. Look at him. He's cruising down the highway. That guy is really short in that seat. Is that a
Oh yeah.
child? That's got to be a child. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, there's a samurai. Apparently it was a small car cruise or something.
It's a Suzuki.
It's a Suzuki. Okay.
Yeah, Swift.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Swift, Sprint,
Okay.
kind of
I
means the
think he
same
might.
thing, right?
I
It
think he might be a
became the
little.
Sprint. The next generation became the Geo Metro,
Yep.
probably.
That's the one. I'd rather have that, but it's that FD
The
that he's
Metro or the
no
RX.
the FD that he's cruising with. I'd rather have that than this, but nonetheless,
Yeah,
Well,
the RX.
man, it's pretty good.
it's not like terribly like it's pretty clean looking, you know. It's
Yeah.
got it. I mean, built into
Yeah,
the
it looks exactly
grill, an
like the
intercooler scoop. Look at
engine
that.
bay of a Geo Metro.
Yeah.
That is pretty sick. Yeah, that should be on like Bring a Trailer or Cars and
Well,
Builds or
one sold in
that's awesome.
October for
Doug would love that.
$6,600 on Bring a Trailer
Okay,
in
so he's priced a little
How
high.
similar
much does this
condition.
person want for this?
8. He's got it marked at 8.
Okay.
So you know,
Yeah, I doubt there's a strong market for those, but
He's
oh
like, I
come
wonder
on.
what the very best one of these would cost. Like, what a cool lottery dream. $12,000 gets you one with 500 miles on it or something, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
One
I,
sold for 10,000 the beginning of 24, and it's got 97,000 miles, but very clean.
hmm,
Oh, interesting. Those are 12-inch wheels.
yeah, that makes sense.
oh, nice. Like golf cart wheels.
Yeah. So you put some 13s on it, you're balling.
That's right.
They 12s, they 12s.
But I would pay money for that. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I think I would too. I think I'm in on it.
Yeah, I would. Unanimous.
Okay. All right. So let's move up in the price range. Actually,
Still an
yeah, it's a
ovation
long
here.
ovation.
We're moving
I think
on
we're
up.
standing at this point.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's way too long. I'm just now seeing that it's a 36 second.
I still can't hear it. So.
It's
Oh
a
my
36-second clip, so I'm cutting it off because we gotta get to this thing. Um, this is incredible. Is what this is.
Oh my
This is a
god.
2013 Ford
Is this
Escape
what I sent
Sport
you?
Utility,
Uh-huh.
$9,800. Selling for a friend of mine that doesn't use Facebook. Gee, I wonder why. I understand it's not for everyone. If it's not for you, I don't need to know. Simply don't care. So apparently he's been getting some emails about this. 13 Escape EcoBoost
Was it a
4-cylinder.
different year at the top there?
Uh, no,
No?
13,
Okay.
13,
Okay.
13. 89,000 miles. Has retro
Yes.
hot rod theme with tilt front end.
Hmm.
67 Austin taxi cab front end with a 65 Mercedes headlights and split bumper. The rear, though, has a 1940 Chevy taillight, 56 Buick bumper guards, cool little daily driver, quick with turbo 4-cylinder, fuel efficient, 28 to 30 miles to the gallon, AC and heat work, clean title, bill of sale, and proper emissions passing slip. So, It's amazing, is what it is, and
Yeah,
it's.
let's
I
see more.
think that what
Let's
we
see more
have.
photos, Colin.
I think that what we have here is a battle of which is the worst idea, this or the truck.
Mm.
Cause my God, man.
Aesthetically, I think that this is worse, but I think I would drive this over the truck because at least it's a boring ass Ford Escape that is. I don't even know. Actually, as I say that and I see
You're
another
really
picture of
digging,
it, I
man.
think
You're really digging.
nope. I want the Toyota. I'll take the Toyota every time. This thing
I'll
is
take double.
stupid.
I'll take the parts off the Toyota with
I'll
it's got
take the
double
extra
cases,
Rocky.
a winch. There you go. The parts for the
The X,
Rocky.
yeah, I'll
Yeah,
take the parts to build another Rocky.
Uh,
Oh man,
yeah.
yeah, this is.
This is
I
bad.
can
yeah,
see why this guy put in there. He
I
doesn't
do
want to
like the
hear from
if
you.
it's not for you. Instead of hello, is this available? People are sending why is this available?
Why
Yeah,
did you make this? What have you done?
yeah,
Oh,
that
it's so
is
bad.
that is some terrible, terrible. Oh my God,
How many miles are on it?
It doesn't matter.
are
Well,
you really
I
that
think
worried
it
about
might
it?
be eight. No, I'm just curious. I was looking up other Ford Escapes just out of curiosity, and I think it might be
Oh,
like a reasonably priced Ford Escape because a lot
eighty-nine
of them have
thousand miles.
150,000 miles.
Yeah, so this is
89,000 miles. There's no way a 13 Escape holds 9 grand.
Uh,
Oh wait,
that's
they want
that's.
13 for it, don't they?
yeah.
Oh, never mind. It's overpriced.
Well, it's
Yeah.
because all the custom. No, they want 9,800.
I mean, I
Oh, they
found it.
want 98. Okay.
Yeah,
I think that's the going rate for a 13 Escape without all this dumb shit done to it.
Yeah.
yeah, but then they're just a regular Escape, Sean.
Yeah, I mean, it's not two
Yeah.
tone.
Do you want to drive around in a regular Escape or this unique automobile?
Neither.
Oh, neither. I don't think that was an option, Sean.
Two Daihatsu
Yeah,
Rockies.
this was an A or B. Why don't you see
Man.
yourself into this sweet Escape?
Boy, yeah, that's bad. All
Yeah.
right, so the last one I've got for you.
How are you gonna top that?
How am I going to top it?
Yeah.
I found that as we were logging in. I was like,
Yeah.
oh shit.
Oh.
All right, what we got here? 86 Mercedes Unimog U1300L. And I didn't even look at this. I just pulled it up because I know, we like to look at these mainly to see what the build out looks like, to see if it, fits our style. So this has 61,900 and nice miles, $125,000. He says it's no small
Ooh.
sum of money, which is true. Um, it's traveled all over the place, yada yada. I don't need the life story, honestly. I was just looking for. Oh, it gets an economical 13.4 miles to the gallon. The interior looks like a small apartment.
Hmm.
That's, I mean, that's pretty well
Not
finished, it
bad.
seems. Okay, so picture of it out in the woods. Large bed. So, which way are we? So that's looking towards the back. So the bed always, bed must always be out.
Is it
Oh, here we go.
side to
We got a
side or
floor plan.
something?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Side to
It's got a
side.
Yeah,
bedroom
okay.
basically.
That's what I
Got our
thought.
got our nice little floor plan here. So there's two doors out. Wow. Back door, side
Hmm.
door.
Pass through.
Well, is the front one a pass through the cab?
Yep, that would be the pass through. Yeah, because the
I
bed's
think
in the
the
in
arrow
the
implies
rear.
pass through.
Yeah, yeah. Got a shower. I mean, that's like a regular RV freaking bathroom right there.
Pretty much, yeah.
Curious if it says what we got here. We've got the OM 352 5.7 inline six. Oof, that's not much motor for that big of a rig. 130 horsepower,
Oh my god.
383
But how
foot-pound
much
of
torque?
torque.
There you go. There it
Yeah.
is.
Uh, high range, low range.
Ooh, L322 leather. Luxury.
Dang, look at that. Heating can be installed. That's a weird way to say it. Mercedes seats, but Range Rover leather.
Hmm,
I'm I'm
Huh.
confused.
that is odd.
I'm confused by that a little bit, but okay, whatever, whatever. Uh, Isofix for child seat and seating for three
I don't know what that.
because it's got that weird seat, so they probably offset it so that it didn't block the pass through.
Huh.
9,000 lumens of
Oh,
exterior
I
front
see. And
light.
then below the bedroom, below the bed, it has that big cubby. I see it now.
Mm,
Let's see. Big window outside, whatever that means. Distinguishing features: 200 amp hours of battery, 400 watts solar, Continental MPT 81 tires, 5 of them, which, by the way, one of them is on the roof, which is going to be
be
really
fun to get
fun
down.
if you've got to get that thing down. 80 gallons of fresh water. Bathroom shower, diesel furnace and water heater. It's got a awning with back wall. Yeah, spare
Subaru
wheel. Oh,
alternator.
there
I'm
we go.
out.
Spare wheel on roof with electrical winch.
All right.
Oh,
A
20-pound
roof-mounted winch.
LPG
That's pretty cool.
gas. Yeah. Garage area with interior and exterior access. Garage
That's that
area.
under the bed thing.
Oh, bedroom with bookcase, clothes closet, LED. Okay, those do look
gotta
like
have it.
That does look like a Range Rover seat. Weird.
Hmm.
So apparently that's just a
Huh.
thing that L322 uh leather fits over Mercedes seats. Sure. Cool.
That's pretty cool.
Interesting fact. Little known fact. Okay, yeah. So there's the door to the bathroom and the little cubby step into the thing. Interesting. Okay, well, what do you think?
I'm in. I like it.
125?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean it's too
Yeah,
slow
for
and
120. Yeah, I mean,
blah blah blah, but I think it's rad.
125 seems like it's not bad for what you're getting. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, if you're
I
traveling the
think you're getting a
world,
lot of rig for 125.
yeah, live in, travel.
as long as you're not
Well,
in a
people
hurry.
that do that, they'll sell their house, and I mean, you sell your house, you still have a lot of money left over to live with
Yep,
$125,000.
yep, it's true. Well, I mean, depending on where your house is that you're selling.
Yeah, I mean, the median home value in the United States, whatever, it's like whatever. But
Yes.
That's all I had for you.
Cool. Yeah, I think that was awesome. Thanks.
You're welcome.